Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Inside the Distance podcast. I'm your host, GK, the fight analyst, and this here is my man, Aaron the Dog. What's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, going all right. Last week was rough, I'll be honest. So it took me a couple days, but was able to get some good research in and put a few plays down. I'm playing it lighter this weekend, me personally, but it's not based on the card, to be honest. It just need a break after a couple weeks of not great results after a pretty good summer overall. So, but still good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. We're just 48 hours away from fight time, man. 48 hours. That's it. Great fight card on tap. Absolutely amazing fight card. UFC 253, 2 title fights on tap. Light heavyweight championship on the line, as well as the middleweight championship. I'm super stoked. Also, as far as last week goes, made an extremely bad call on TJ Laramie fight. It is what it is. It was just an absolutely bad read, but fought through the bullshit and was able to at least, break even on the night, just going heavier and trying to get that money back on the rest of the card. At least that panned out well for the people that were with me. But there's a lot of money to be made, a lot of great fights. Good thing it's kind of only 11 fight card. I know we wanted the other 3 fights. It was great last week. But as for a betting perspective, I think it's better to cut the fights in half. Less fights that we have to really go through and actually think about betting on. So I don't want to have that itch. But all in all, I am fucking ready. I am absolutely ready. Titan FC, yes, absolutely. Everybody tune in. Titan FC 864 tomorrow night, 8 p.m. on Fight Pass. And also, guys, in just 2 hours, Icon Fighting Federation, the debut on UFC Fight Pass at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss out. That's going to be a great night of fights tonight. There's a ton of fights. We got Cage Warriors, today, tomorrow, 3 straight nights of Cage Warriors. And then you have Titan FC tomorrow night. We have Roy Jones Jr. boxing going on right now. We have Icon Fighting Federation going on at 10 p.m. tonight. There's a ton of fights this week, and I couldn't be happier. A lot of combat sports, a lot of nonstop action, man. Are you ready?
Yeah, definitely. I'm most excited about this card. Obviously, there's about 5 or 6 fights on this card. I think they're going to be really, really excellent. So,
agreed. Yeah, I think this is littered with a bunch of fights that even under the radar fights, even like a Shane Young and Ludovic Klein. I think that's an under radar kind of fight. A lot of people don't know
it was
about
under the radar.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the betting line is completely flipped on that fight. So,
yeah.
We talk about that one.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that. But I mean, as far as I know people don't know much about either one of those fighters. So I think that could be, or maybe a Brad Rydell and an Alex De Silva. That's a fantastic fight.
Yeah.
That I think people don't really know much about both of those fighters. But like I said, there's a lot to get into and a lot of money to be made. That's for damn sure. So let's just get right down to business. All right. So the first fight up is in the light heavyweight division between Khadis Ibrahimov and Danilo Marquez. Right now, Ibrahimov is a minus 155 favorite in the comeback on Marquez is a plus 135 underdog. Who do you got?
Well, I couldn't really find any tape on Danilo Marquez that's less than 5 years old. The one tape I did find was him getting knocked out by a guy who was 6-6. So fought his last fight at middleweight. And he's facing a guy who's 0-3 in the UFC in Khadis Ibrahimov. Hasn't looked very good. Looked his worst in his last fight, frankly, against Delonze or whatever, however you say that. Knocked out in the first round. He went 3 rounds with Ed Herman, but he was never a threat really in that fight other than the first few minutes. And that appears to be the only time Ibrahimov is a threat. So the only thing that's getting me here is Ibrahimov is a favorite. So I just don't know how he can be a favorite against anybody. But if there is someone he can be a favorite against, it's a guy who hasn't fought in 2 years, who is chinny, who's a middleweight, it appears, who's a tall, skinny middleweight. So
And isn't he like 40 years old? Super old, isn't he? If I'm not
36 or
mistaken.
something, I think.
Yeah, he's 34, hasn't fought in 2 years.
34. Cadiz, as well, even though he looks like he's 35, 36, 37, he's only 25.
He's like 28. Oh, wow.
25. Yeah. So,
Wow. Yeah.
And I mean, he hasn't gotten good experience here in the octagon so far, but outside the octagon, he faced really good competition still. So, seems like the type of guy Cadiz should beat. So, I would never bet Cadiz in a million years as a favorite, but Cadiz is my pick, and probably puts him away pretty early, just judging by how his chin put up with a 5-5 guy. So I'm gonna say Cadiz gets a hold of him in the first 3 minutes, first round knockout.
Yeah, I'm kind of going with the same narrative as well. This guy's pretty big. He's 6'6". He's only a middleweight. He's 34 years old. Hasn't fought in 2 years. Hasn't fought anyone good at all. Let's also let's not 2017. He's 2 fights away from beating someone who's 0-16. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So that's the type of competition that he can beat. 2 of his last 4 wins have been guys that have no wins under their belt. So not good right there. Thing is, Ibrahimov, not a good fighter. Definitely don't want to bet on someone that landed 1 strike in an entire round and got knocked out in that round. There was no grappling involved. It was a stand-up striking battle, and he landed 1 single strike. So that's not good. Losing to Ed Herman, also not good. But this is arguably the easiest fight of his entire career, in my opinion. He's fought way better competition on the regional scene over at the Russian promotion. I forgot. ACB, I believe, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay, and he was the light heavyweight champion there.
M1.
Or was it M1? Okay. So he was an M1 light heavyweight champion. So at least he had a belt at an organization. And the other thing is, I'm pretty sure Danilo has never traveled over to Yas Island or anywhere across the country. So that's a very far travel for him. I'm pretty sure he's only been fighting in the United States or in Brazil. So that's another aspect all in itself. But I'm taking Ibrahimov here. I do think he should be a heavier favorite. -155 is a decent line, and he probably does win this fight inside the distance. Given his track record, I know obviously he's 0-3 in the UFC, but outside the UFC, he's finishing dudes. And Danilo Marquez is an outside of the UFC type of fighter, like a fighter that shouldn't be in the UFC. So this is the type of fighter that Ibrahimov should look good against and should dominate. But yeah, so I'm taking him here -155. I think it's a pretty decent line.
They seem to want to keep Ibrahimov around.
Yeah.
Give him a 36-year-old guy who hasn't fought in 2 years. Like this is if you can't win this fight, you can't beat anybody in the UFC type of fight.
Agreed. And I think it's more of a fluff fight, just like they need a fight to throw in there, Ibrahimov is available kind of thing too.
That could be.
Yeah. But I do think they're trying to give him a layup fight because, they need young talent at 205. And like you said, he's 25 years old. If you make him look good, start giving him like that, maybe he can make some waves. But we will see. I do take him here. All right. So next up, we have a fight at heavyweight between Jeff Hughes and Juan Espino. Right now, Espino is a -300 favorite. Wow. And the comeback on Jeff Hughes at +250 underdog. Who do you got?
Yeah, obviously, the line here for Espino is really out of hand. He hasn't fought in a few years here. Coming off of his last fight was, I think, for the tough belt to beat Justin Frazier, who is nowhere near near UFC caliber. He was just like a big fat Arkansas wrestler guy. But I think that Espino here, the play is Espino to get a submission win. But if he doesn't get that, if he gets put on his back, if he gets put, pushed in the gas department here into the second, third round, at 39 years old, not fighting in several years, I can easily see Hughes getting a greasy decision here. So I understand the play on Hughes. I wouldn't make it personally. I would make a prior play, look into Espino by submission because that's what he's winning this fight by if he wins. So, and I mean, in general, Espino's been able to finish his competition that he's fought. So, hasn't been great competition though. Hughes would be one of the more challenging guys he's faced. So,
yeah, this line is absolutely out of control. I don't know where the odds makers are really lining this fight, and I kind of don't understand why they're lining it like this. I know he's 10-3. He's 9-1. I'm sorry, 9-1.
Only lost to Minikov.
Yeah, and I mean, he hasn't beaten anyone good. I mean,
Maurice Green, Hughes.
Yeah, I mean, Maurice Green is a good win. Ben Soli is a terrible win. Just Frazier, I really don't care for. Yeah. It's going to come down to, can he get this to the mat? Period.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get it to the mat, he loses. But do you want to bet on a -300 that this heavyweight has to win by submission?
I'm assuming submission's like a -170 or so.
It should be, because the moment he gets it down, it should be over.
Right, so I'm assuming that cuts in about half, so I would be willing to bet that.
Espino by submission is +120.
Yeah. That's your
but look at this though. The over 2.5 rounds is only +120.
Yeah, I mean, well, that would be those are your plays then.
The over is +120.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make sense. You're giving it a pick'em, right? For almost a pick'em for Espino to win by submission, but you're also giving us almost a pick'em for the fight to pretty much go to a decision.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a chance he has top control, doesn't get the submission.
True, but I mean, if we go down,
the only way Hughes is winning is by decision. Hughes isn't putting him away in any shape or form. So,
exactly. So
that's how the price would get to that point, I would think.
It's just, to me, those lines don't make sense for a -300 favorite. A guy that has, in 7 of his 9 wins have been by submission. All right, 7 of his 9 wins. So, and for some reason he couldn't tap out Ben Sasoli, which is not really good, because Sasoli's really bad on the mat and the grappling exchanges as well. I don't know, man. I like Hughes here. I think we're giving a ton of value on him. I think he should be, if he's able to stay upright, he wins the fight all day on the feet. I think he's a way better striker. Like I say, I think he trains with Stipe over at
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm fading Stipe's camp this fight.
Oh yeah, no. Me too. In another fight, but I think we're getting just too much value on Hughes here. I think Hughes is a decent striker. He's definitely way faster. Throws way more combinations. As long as he keeps on the feet, he should win. But that's where the trouble lies, and why he probably is a -300 favorite. But the 2-year layoff, he's 39 years old. If Jeff Hughes just kind of, the 30-foot cage is going to, I think, play a major factor here as well. So I think he's going to be able to use his footwork, stay on the outside, use his striking to keep at range, and win a decision over the aging Juan Espino.
Man, that would be a hell of a way to start.
So next up, we have a fight in the light heavyweight division between William Knight and Alexa Kamer, the 2 Contender Series alumni. Both of these guys have fought on the Contender Series, and both of them have won. All right. So right now, the betting line is Alexa Kamer as a -160 favorite, and to come back on William Knight is a +140 underdog. Who do you got?
Yeah. Well, first of all, imagine Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? No. What the hell happened? That's weird.
Hey, can you hear me?
Hello? All right. I'm not sure what happened there. Give me a second, guys. Technical difficulties.
Can you hear me?
I think
Yeah,
I think my hold on.
You
I don't
can't
know
hear
if
me?
it's my headphones. I can't hear you for some reason. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties. I should see if these headphones are working. They should be. Sorry, everybody. I know you're still on with me, but yeah, there's something wrong with my headphones. My headset. That's weird. Hold on, let me see. Okay. I think it's
Dude,
just my
it's my
headset.
mic.
Something
It's
wrong
my
with
mic.
it.
Hey, hey.
Can you hear me? You can't hear me? What the hell's going on? Oh, my bad, everybody. All right. I guess we're just gonna keep going because I think our man Aaron's just got a little bit of an issue here that he's getting sorted out. So yeah, we're on Knight and Alexa Kamer. He'll jump right back in once he gets that squared away. But yeah, between Knight and Kamer right now, Kamer's minus 160 favorite. Come back at Knight's plus 140 underdog. Well, for me, man, was I impressed with William Knight in his second Contender Series stint.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, you sound great. I didn't know if I could hear you.
No, it's my mic. Yeah. All right. Anyways, William Knight and Alexa Kamer. Go ahead.
You can. Yeah, I guess I'll finish what I was saying. So yeah, I was super impressed with Knight in his last fight against Cody Brundage. He fought through the adversity. Through the first round where he was getting taken down, and that was Cody Brundage's game plan: take him down and just try to ground and pound him into oblivion. But he withstood that, got up, and absolutely unleashed hell. In comes Alexa Kamer. He's 6-0. He was impressive on the Contender Series, but then he also was at the same time. He got rocked in that first round against Fabio Charant. I don't know if his chin is really the best, and then he comes back in and he gets a quality win. His last fight against, I forgot his name.
Justin Ledet.
Yes, Justin Ledet. Okay, there you go. So yeah, quality win against a veteran, Justin Ledet, but still not the best. He hasn't fought the best competition, even on the regional scene either. And like I tried telling other people, this man is not going to like to get hit by William Knight. I'll tell you that right now. He's not going to want to get hit by Knight. And Kamer's not a wrestler by trade. He's a wrestler when he needs to be, when he's getting lit up. He's a striker by trade, kind of like a Jeff Hughes, kind of like a Stipe. They use that wrestling to stay on the feet and just brawl out. That's where it's going to be to William Knight's advantage. William Knight usually loses to guys that can take him down and just beat him to a bloody pulp, unless you're Tafon, Chukwi, but that's a whole different story. I think Knight absolutely smashes Kamer in the first round and gets him out of there. First round KO. And you can even bet that first round plus 400 because I feel if he doesn't get it done in the first round, it could slide to Kamer's favor, and this could be a live betting opportunity where Knight's winning, he almost finishes, but then you see he's gassing, and then you could bet Kamer at plus money. But initial line, I'm taking. I'm all over William Knight here. I think it's a favorable matchup, especially you're giving him a striker that's going to go in there and look for the KO, as you know all of his wins. No, I'm sorry. 5 of his 6 wins have come by knockout. So I'm taking William Knight here. I think he goes in and absolutely smashes Alexa Kamer.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with you on this one. The only thing with Knight that I think is kind of a little bit of a misnomer is that he's like perceived as kind of a guy with 1 round gas. I mean, he's had a couple finishes in the second, a finish in the third round. I think that his body type leads you to believe this is a 1 rounder done type of finish, but he actually hasn't shown these tendencies to really slow down in his fights. The fight he did lose was in the first round where he got by Ninchukwi, cracked him before he could crack him. So, I mean, and then he lost on the regional scene to Jorgen De Castro. Not sure how he lost that fight, but I just yeah, in the regionals, yeah, Knight did, and so amateur as an amateur.
Oh, so. Amateur, okay, but that was a Muay Thai fight. That wasn't even an MMA fight.
Yeah, it was a Muay Thai fight. You're right. So, but yeah, I'm like a little surprised. Alexa is the favorite here.
Right, right. I thought the same thing.
He has less fights also. He's gonna be the weaker guy, and I mean, I think Alexa also kind of relies on getting the fight done pretty early. For the most part, he did look pretty good in that decision win against Ledet, but I mean, in general, he gets these fights done pretty early. So yeah, I like Knight here. I think Knight could even finish this second or third round, so I'm not really on the live betting side of it. But yeah, I have Knight. I already have Knight bet at plus 150, I think. So yeah, I like Knight, and I do like him to get the knockout. But
I don't understand the line, to be honest with you. I felt it should have been an Impa Kasanganai type of line when he got his UFC debut. You know. Like that minus 130 plus 120 on Alexa Kamer type of thing. I don't think there's a reason why that William Knight should be an underdog here. And I think we're getting a great price here. Like I said, it's a very, very winnable UFC debut. Very winnable. I'm not saying go bet the house on William Knight, but plus 140 I think is a fantastic line on him.
Nope, I agree.
All right. So next up in the featherweight division, we have a fight between Shane Young and Ludovic Klein, or Ludovic Klein. I'm not sure.
Ludovic Klein. I think he's
Ludovic Klein.
Yeah, he's not French, so I think it's just Ludovic.
Okay, Ludovic Klein.
Or Ludwig.
Right. Yeah. Right now, it's a freaking pick'em between these two. A ton of live movement coming on Klein. Yeah, so who do you got between these two?
It's been nice because Cline, there's a lot of tape on him, so I've been able to watch quite a bit of tape, and he's pretty impressive from what I've been able to see. I think this is going to be a really close fight. I think it's going to be pretty much a kickboxing fight, and I mean, we don't really know how good Shane Young is yet. He's not faced great competition in the UFC at all so far. And I think it's been a little bit since his last fight, too, against Austin Arnett, about a year, like a year and a half, actually. So, and he didn't put away Austin Arnett either. But
he also didn't get finished by his training partner, Alexander Volkanovski, either.
Yeah, no, yeah, and that was his was that both their debuts?
I don't know, but it definitely was Shane Young's debut. That was a fucking terrible debut, let me tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Shane
Young was a plus 450 in that fight.
Well, rightfully so. I mean, like, that's crazy to let me take a fight against this 15-1 phenom in Alexander Volkanovski. is now the champion. Crazy.
Yeah, and then fought Rolando Dai. He did put him away, but Dai had his moments in the first round against Young in that fight also. This isn't a fight I would be betting on. I can understand the movement with Cline. Cline really has some good head kicks, and I don't see Young falling victim to a single head kick, though, which is kind of how Cline throws a lot of them. So it looks like Cline may be into some kind of habits from the regional scene that he got away with for a while that got finishes that once you get to UFC, they don't work. And then you're kind of a little bit lost in there. So at pick'em price, I'm going to take Shane Young. But I think this one's close. It could be anybody's fight. World-class kickboxing.
Yeah, I'm actually taking Shane Young here as well. Let's not forget the fact that Shane Young actually has a full fight camp for this fight, while Ludovic is coming into this fight on short notice. This is a UFC debut. Shane Young has he rattled off 2 wins after that Alexander Volkanovski loss. I mean, before that, he hasn't lost since 2015. He's training over at City Kickboxing now. So he's training with Alexander Volkanovski. He's training with all the boys out there at CKB. And I think it's made him a lot better because if we saw that against his fight against Austin Arnett, he looked very much improved from that Rolando Dai fight. I don't think he was training at CKB for that Rolando fight. I think he started training with them for the Austin fight, and then I just think he looked kind of impressive. And I don't know, man. This is a pick'em fight. I know Cline's looked impressive on the regional scene, but that's not against UFC caliber talent. And I know he's shown some defensive deficiencies in his striking, so he tends to get hit a lot. I think Shane Young's a more technical striker, more defensive sound striker. And as long as he doesn't get to a firefight and just go balls to the wall, I think he should be able to outstrike Cline in this fight. So it's definitely a very, very close fight for a reason. But yeah. I'm taking Young here.
Yep. Yeah. I still would like that its original line too, frankly. I mean, there's a difference between coming off Lucas Sachutski, who never won a fight in the UFC when he was there, to fighting Shane Young. So, but we'll see. And Cline looks really, really appealing. One thing that you'll notice with a lot of these newcomers when the lines are close is if you go onto YouTube and type in their name and they have a hype video by, I think it's called Fight TV is the name of the YouTube channel.
Fight TV.
If they have a highlight, guaranteed the line's going to be closer than it should be. Just watch out for those. That's what I'm noticing a lot. So
I
those guys
subscribe to them so I can get some tape.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. I mean, Romanov was like, they got me on Romanov like more than anybody, to be honest with you. But like that, just notice this is how these bettors are researching. Like, so just take notice stuff like that. That's what Cline has a nice 3.5-minute video that got added 3 days ago.
Oh wow!
And it's really nice. It's really, go check it out. It's great. But highlights videos are not fight videos. Just
nope. That's just doing half the job.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have a fight in the welterweight division between Diego Nightmare Sanchez and Jake Matthews. Right now, Matthews is the biggest favorite on the card at -750. Wow. And the comeback on Nightmare Sanchez +525. Who do you got?
Oh man, there's no way I'm picking Diego Sanchez.
Wait. I have to ask this question. Did you watch his interview recently?
Yes, all 13 minutes of it.
About the legend fights that he wants after this. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's just like I don't really even want to waste time talking about this. I hope Matthews gets it done really fast.
And he's not though. That's the thing, because I feel like he's not, because Have we watched Diego? He doesn't come forward anymore. He doesn't go into brawls. He literally he jogs around the ring for like 15 minutes just to not get hit.
Yeah,
It's really
I
weird.
know.
It's really weird.
Matthews is like the prospect who's like never like just. I'm really not excited for this fight
At all. I think Matthews should absolutely dominate. I'm taking him by points, which I think is like +1 something. Is Matthews by decision. Oh, no, it dropped all the way down to -110. I had it at +1 something.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no value there anymore, like at all. There's no value. There's no value in this spot, and like I can't bet on this fight. I cannot bet on this fight at all. So I'm just moving. I'm moving on. There's not much to say. I think absolutely Jake Matthews just wipes the floor with Diego Sanchez. If you want to gamble on Diego, go right ahead. I'm not telling you to do so, but yeah.
Like if
Matthews wins. I mean, what else? There's no way I'm going to take Diego Sanchez. I just don't think he's good.
Such a stupid fight.
It really is.
Why did they do this to Matthews? Why don't they just let Matthews go to Bellator so he can be exciting?
I don't know, man.
Matthews is not doing shit here. Ever since he got his ass whooped by Kevin Lee, like absolutely whooped, made Kevin Lee look like a god in 1 minute. Like,
but that was at 155. He's looked great at 170. I don't think he's lost at 170 yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Has he fought Anthony Martin yet?
I don't think so, but that should be a fight that they should put together. And I think Anthony Martin would probably beat him too. It's a good fight. Yeah, actually, that's a really good fight.
That's the fight that should be happening after this. I'm done talking about.
Can anybody hear me?
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
Fucking shit.
Do you have a headphones? Just put your headphones in. I'll be able to hear you. Like plug it in. But anyways, yeah. Let's not even go too much in depth. Actually, no. He did fight Anthony Rocco Martin, and he lost to him via Anaconda choke. Yeah. See, he did.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Nope.
I have headphones in. Like, this is so fucking dumb. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. I mean, you can text me. Try to get the your headphones if you can. But I'm just gonna move forward to the next fight while you're getting yourself ready. All right. So next up, we have a fight in the lightweight division between Brad Rydell and Alex De Silva. This is going to be a fantastic, non-stop, action-packed fight. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be a fantastic fight. I'm super stoked for this one. All right. Right now, Rydell is a -340 favorite in the comeback on Alex De Silva is a +280 underdog.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I got nothing.
It's
anyways, all right. I'll start it off. I'm very impressed with Brad Rydell. He started off as the Tiger Muay Thai striking coach and the striking coach of Alexander Volkanovski. They moved from Tiger Muay Thai to City Kickboxing, where they both reside and do their training at. And Rydell has some insane kickboxing. Like, his kicks are brutal. His striking is insane. He's got great power, super quick, light on his feet. And he's one guy that you do not want to stand in the pocket with, because he could take a shot and he's going to land 4 to 5 to 1 of your shots, because he lands everything with a heavy leg kick. He throws in bunches, 3 to 4 strikes at a time. And I don't think De Silva is going to want to stand and strike with him. He's going to want to try to take him down. He's not a great grappler. I think Rydell is going to absolutely smoke Alex De Silva. If you watch Alex De Silva on the regional scene, If you want to watch one fight on the regional scene, and that's going to make you sway to pick Brad Rydell, go watch Alex da Silva fight Daniel Swain, the guy who quit against TJ and Laramie on the Contender Series. He almost got finished by Daniel Swain in the striking department in that fight.
You can't hear me?
I think Brad Rydell finally gets his finish, gets his win inside the distance. I think this is that's a long time coming. He should have finished Malarkey in the first fight. And he's finally going to get a finish here. I think he finishes him early, and it's going to be brutal. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great for however long it lasts. Put it that way. I think Brad Rydell absolutely smashes Alex da Silva. Minus 340 is not a great line, but taking Brad Rydell by KO brings us down to plus 155. I think that's a great line. Brad Rydell by knockout plus 155. You're getting a great line there. Rydell in round one is plus 300, everybody. Look at this. Rydell in round one is plus 300, and then it skyrockets to plus 525 round two. So you're telling me this guy has a great chance of finishing, his opponent and Alex da Silva in round one at plus 300. That's what the odds makers are saying right now. Because the plus 300 is a pretty low line to bet on someone to win inside the first round. So I think they're telling us something here. And the under 2.5 rounds is minus 120. So that's also telling us something, guys. Sometimes you have to read these lines. You'll be like, huh, okay. So there you go.
Hey,
you're back.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good. You're good.
Dude, I don't know what's going on. All my levels are working at all points. I'm testing it. It's all working. So, anyways.
I can hear you. You're perfectly fine.
Yeah. I heard what you said about the Rydell fight. For the most part, I agree with you if you're playing Rydell. I like that play. I'm not betting this weekend. It's probably a good thing I'm not. I'm slightly on the side of the dog at this price. I do think da Silva's getting a little bit disrespected from just having such a hyped start coming into the UFC and then having that terrible performance against Yakovlev. I just don't think I'm just not sure he's shown who he really is yet in the UFC in his couple fights, or maybe he has and he's been exposed here. And Rydell's no joke. Also, Rydell reminds me a lot of Kyle Brady. Almost like Australian or New Zealand Kyle Brady, essentially. So this could be a really bad play by me. Rydell could go in there and really kind of buzz right through da Silva. But da Silva, I looked at him. He looks like he's put on quite a bit of weight, so he looks like he's getting really comfortable at 155. Still really young, so continuing to improve here. So I just got a feeling da Silva comes out here and surprises and gets the upset, but I'm not betting it, so again, that's my pick.
I got you. I mean,
I just got a feeling. I don't know what it is though. I
know the line is a little too wide, and I get that. I just haven't seen anything Alex da Silva is really going to present a challenge for Rydell, because if you look at it, so can absolutely not stand and strike with Rydell in the pocket. It's just not going to happen. So then if you really look at it, look who Rydell just faced. He did really, really well at defending the takedowns, getting back up against Magomed Mustayev. So that was super, super impressive because we still didn't know how well he does with adversity, getting down and getting back up. So that really, really impressed me. So I don't know what da Silva's really going to do, because he's not a better grappler and wrestler than Mustayev. And he's definitely not a better striker than Rydell. So I think Silva's going to have to catch him with something crazy. Just like another dog that we'll be talking about as well. But yeah, I'm all over Rydell. I'm taking by knockout plus 155. I like the under 2.5 rounds minus 120. I also like the round one plus 300. I think he absolutely gets smoked in that first round. He takes a beating. He likes to take shots to the face. So we will see how that does for him. All right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just, it's 23 fights against 9 fights. Again, there's just a few things here just to take, a little bit of note on before jumping headfirst, making Rydell your, like, parlay
Yeah,
mainstay and everything
I'm
like
not.
this.
Yeah. I'm not telling anybody to go
I know
ahead
you're not.
and drop Rydell and
I've
all your
seen,
legs.
I've seen some people advertising that,
You
and
know
I
what?
just,
Like I messed up in Laramie last week. I do
yeah,
not.
this feels like a Laramie spot.
I don't want to see you guys a wrong way. No, this is not a Laramie spot. And the reason why it's not a Laramie spot because this is not a UFC debuter anymore. Okay,
Fair.
so UFC debuters is where I get killed. I get caught up in the hype because I was big on TJ Laramie all throughout his regional career. I've been watching him. I'm like, yes, he looked amazing in his Contender Series fight. He's going to come in against a guy that's 0-2 in his two times in the UFC, yada, yada, yada. And I overlooked Derek Minner completely. I overlooked him. And he completely proved me wrong. I had to tell him face to face on a podcast that I bet against him. So I kind of felt like a complete and utter dick, but it is what it is. It's a betting thing. It's nothing personal. It's just how we analyze fights. That's what we do. We're trying to make people money. Someone's gonna win and someone's gonna lose. It's just how it works. But anyways,
Yes, sir.
next up we have a fight in the featherweight division between Hakeem Dawadu and Zabara Tukagov. Jeez. All right. Right now, this is a very close fight. And right now, Tukagov is a minus 135 favorite, and the comeback on Dawadu is a plus 115 underdog. What do you got?
I think this is a pretty good fight. I think that the odds are almost exactly perfect for this. I got Zubera. Just, I think that it's going to be a fight where he's going to have to look to mix it up, obviously. I think if it's like a kickboxing exclusive fight, Dawadu is going to win that fight. This becomes an MMA fight, Zubera wins. And I think that also the bigger cage will be to Zubera's advantage when it is on the feet, because I do believe Zubera will have a reach advantage. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but
Hold on, let me look.
he seems like the longer guy. Maybe I'm wrong there, but either way, I just think that Zubera, he's fought some really good guys in the UFC so far. He had a good fight with Moicano, close split decision. And other than that, has looked really good against.
Dawadu has a 5-inch reach advantage.
Okay, so I don't know what I'm talking about at all. They're both
No, same height. Same height.
Yeah, same height. So, Dawadu, I don't know. Like, if he's not in there kind of getting the quick finish, he fights his fights kind of too close for my liking. He obviously had to slip up with Daniel Henry in his UFC debut. Since then, he's looked better, but still had a split decision against Kyle Bochniak, had a split decision against Julio Arce. I frankly think Zubera is a lot better than both those guys. And so I just am not sure that he's ready for this step up yet. So I think Zubera ends up taking this. And I'll say by decision, Zubera wins.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking at something. But as far as it's a hard fight because it's a pickup for a reason. When by the way, mute your mic while I'm talking because it's got some weird background noise. But thank you, you're good. So when you're talking, you're good. But anyways, yeah, I think, man, this is a tough one. I'm not betting on this fight because I can't get a read on who's going to implement the game plan better. We've seen Dawadu get up and defend takedowns against Bochniak. He got taken down by Julio Arce, which is not good. But it was only once, and then he got back up. He's the much, much, much better striker in this fight. But Zabara is the much, much better grappler. So it's going to be a game of chess. If Dawadu defends the takedowns, he wins this fight.
I mean, I might bet a little on the draw, frankly. This could look a lot like the Lerone Murphy fight.
Yeah, but that means someone's got to get a 10-8, though.
Well, I think Dawadu could get a 10-8.
It is possible. I don't know, man. If I had to choose, because I'm not betting on this fight, I would take Zubara just because he's the type of fighter you like to bet on, because he does a ton of takedowns. He trains with Khabib. You know what you're getting from him. A bunch of takedowns, relentless takedowns. Try to hold him down, ground and pound, rinse and repeat. With Dawadu, he's got serious power, but he has to use his movement a ton. He's got to keep moving, because if not, Zabara's got to get in between his legs. He's got to take him down. He's got to go for a ride, and then he's got to work his way back up. And I don't like betting on guys that have to defend takedowns for 15 minutes. So I'm just gonna take Zabara here, minus 135. He probably wins via decision. He doesn't really knock out a ton of people other than his last opponent. But yeah, I'm going with Zabara by decision. All right, so next up in the women's bantamweight division, we have a fight between Ketlen Vieira and Zahara Eubanks. Right now, Vieira is a minus 185 favorite, and the comeback on Eubanks is a plus 160 underdog. Who do you got?
I think it's funny. This fight, like a week ago, would.
Sorry, guys. It's been a rough night. But I'm gonna keep moving forward. He'll get his thing working. Maybe just needs to come back out, come back in. We'll get it working. Don't worry. But all right. So with this fight, I really do like Ketlen Vieira here. I know Eubanks looked phenomenal in the last fight. The first fight of her entire UFC career that she decided to use her wrestling, uses her grappling, which is arguably one of the best in the entire bantamweight division. She's a multiple world Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion, IBJJF. So she has those credentials, but she's gotten in love with her boxing and her striking with Mark Henry. So and I don't blame her because she's comfortable on her feet, and that's how it works. But she needs to get back to her bread and butter, which is her grappling, her wrestling, her jiu-jitsu. But Vieira, man, she's big. She's extremely strong. I know she came out flat against Irene Aldana, but that was her first fight back, after a few years off, a few years layoff. She's much, much bigger than Zahara Eubanks. She's 4 inches taller. She's got a 1-inch reach advantage. And I think Vieira is the better grappler. She's much stronger and much bigger. And she's got more power behind her punches as well. So I'm taking Vieira here, man. I think we're getting a good line. We're still forgetting the fact that Vieira beat Aldana. She was next in line she pretty much was next in line to fight for the belt. You're talking about she beat McCann, she beat Zingano, and then if she beat Aldana, she probably would have been next in line because I would have given her five wins in a row, and all that. And like I said,
Can you hear me?
Eubanks is a flyweight fighter. She's not a bantamweight, so she's
hear me?
much smaller here. I don't think she's going to be able to bully Vieira like she was able to bully Avila in her last fight. So. I think Aaron is still having some difficulty with his audio. Must be just his computer, but I'm trying to give him a second. Maybe he can get this thing rolling because I do want to get his take on this fight. Damn, really? Okay. You coming? Like, is it working? I mean, do you want to come back in?
I mean,
there you go. You're good. You're good now. I hear you.
You can hear? Yeah, I don't understand. I'm not sure what's going on. It's completely thrown me off at this point. I mean, I guess I have Vieira. I don't really have an opinion. It does. Just move
Really?
on. Yeah,
No?
no. I don't know what's going on with my mic, and it's going to cut out for some reason again. I don't know
I
if you
don't
can
think
even hear
so.
me.
I can,
But
no, bro, I can hear you. If I'm talking back to you, I can hear you.
yeah, Kalen Vieira, like other than the Irene Aldana left hook, has looked pretty good. And I mean, I get Eubanks has looked more improved with Mark Henry. I just think the line for Vieira still makes sense, and she's the play. I don't see there being a finish either way. I think this is a decision all day. So,
Yeah, I agree as well.
yeah.
All right. I just think people are forgetting the fact that how good Vieta was prior to that Aldana loss. So I think she's learned a lot since that, and I think she's gotten better. And I think Aldana is a way better striker than Eubanks, so I don't think she's going to have that much of a problem as far as the striking goes against Eubanks in this fight. You know.
No, I agree.
All right, next up is a great scrap in the flyweight division. We have a fight between Kai Kara of France and Brandon Royval. Royval. Right now, Kai Kara of France is a minus 240 favorite, and the comeback on Raw Dog Royval is plus 200. What do you got?
I love this line for my boy Raw Dog. Coming into UFC, I was really excited about him. Got him at
Me
about
too.
plus 170 against Tim Elliott. Ended up closing around a plus.
Got him a submission as well.
Yes, and yeah, it was a great fight. This is obviously a very different matchup here against Kai Kara France. However, he's not going to have a fighter who's taking him down. He's not going to. So it's how does Royval get it to the ground in order to get the submission? Because this on the feet is Kai Kara France all day long. If it's a kickboxing fight, it's over. It's not going to be even close. I just think that I have faith in my boy Raw Dog. I think he's gonna at some point be able to get a hold, get to the back of Kai Kara France, and end up getting it to the ground. And once he gets it to the ground, I think he's gonna finish it. I don't think it's gonna get back up. So he needs to get it to the ground one time, and I think he's gonna get it to the ground. I envision a rear naked choke, maybe arm triangle type of submission victory for Brandon Royval in round number 2. So I love the plus 200 dog. I do think that he is close to a submission or bust, and I'll be honest with that, but I think he's going to get it, so I'm going to bet it.
Man, it's gonna be a really
good fight.
It's gonna be a fantastic fight, and like you said, this is cut and dry, absolutely cut and dry. Kai Kara France absolutely dominates this fight on the feet. It's not even close. But if we're getting into grappling exchanges, if we get into, if it hits the mat, it's Raw Dog Royval all day. So that's what it's going to come down to. The way I see Royval really winning, they get into grappling exchanges against the fence. Kai Kara France somehow gives his back against the fence. Royval goes up against the neck, tries to get the body lock, takes his back, takes him down. That's the way, I see Royval winning. That's the only way he can win, to be honest with you. But, when I say that, that's the only way, I know some of these fighters get really mad at me by saying that. I said that to Derek Minner. He got a little upset when I said that was the only way. But realistically, when you win majority of your fights by submission, people are going to think that's your path to victory. And that's Royval's path to victory, because Kai Kara France is a very, very good striker. That's what France is good at. That's his MO. Whereas, Royval's MO is his submission game. He's very slick on the mat. He's very slick with his submissions. So, but with that said, I think Kai Kara France is just too good on the feet. He's too good at defending submissions. He hasn't been submitted in 6 years against Mark Striegel, who's actually a pretty good. I think he's really good. I think he was supposed to fight in the UFC, but then he got something happened where he wasn't able to fight. If I'm not mistaken. He's like
Oh,
Mark Striker.
Rydell, he was supposed to fight a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, right. And now against Saeed Nurmagomedov. Now
Yeah.
they're fighting. They're fighting in a couple weeks. So I mean, that's not anything to like fault with. Mark Striker. He's 18-2. He's a really good fighter. So and that was 8 years. No, 6 years ago that Kai France lost via submission. So I don't know. I think it's a really big uphill battle for Rydell in this fight. This is a big step up. I think he's way better than Tim Elliott. So I think
It's such a different fight. It's almost not worth comparing them.
No, I know, but like if you think about it, like if I think who's the better fighter between the two, I'm gonna go with Kai France.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you said, completely different fighter, completely different type of fight. There's not going to be a lot of grappling exchanges. I think the 30-foot octagon helps Kai France about a million times more than the Apex type fight, and then we'll talk more about that in another fight coming up. But yeah, I'm taking Kai France here minus 240. It's not a great line, but I still think there's still enough, a little bit of value, and then you can talk about taking him by decision, which basically is a pick 'em. I don't see Kai France really taking out Roygal and being the first guy to finish Roygal. Roygal's never been finished in his entire 17-fight career. So I'm going with Kai France to win a unanimous decision victory. All right. Next up, we have a fight. Oh yeah, we're co-main event time. It's co-main event time for the light heavyweight championship between Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz. Right now, Dominic Reyes is on minus 270 favorite. To come back on Blachowicz, it's a plus 230 underdog. Who do you got?
I think that this is a really good fight. I think this is a really close fight. And I just think that this line is just not correct, to be honest. I think that Dom should be the favorite, just not a minus 300 favorite.
You know why, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's coming off his best performance.
Arguably winning performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But honestly, when I saw the face-off today, I thought that Jan looked really, really, really thick and strong and big, to be honest with you. And I honestly think that Jan's grappling and physical strength could be a real difference in this fight and where the fight goes and how the fight's controlled. I also like Jan's leg kicks a lot. I think they could be really effective against a boxer who puts a lot of weight on his front foot in Dominic Reyes. I with the line and everything, I'm actually leaning towards Jan. I haven't made a play on it yet at this point, but I think Jan could really kind of deliver some good damage, hang in there on the feet, and I think grappling-wise, Jan has a huge advantage and could get a submission, especially as this fight goes on. So I'll say third round. Third round is where Jan starts to maybe have a little bit of an advantage and starts to use his grappling a little more. I could see the first couple rounds being close on the feet, back and forth, maybe Dom even winning. But as the athleticism fades a little bit, we've seen a couple fights towards the later rounds. Dom is not quite as active, not quite the same. So, yeah, I got a feeling here. I think Jan could kind of squeak in, possibly even get a submission finish. So I'll take Jan.
I don't like the line on Dominic Reyes, minus 270. It's not a giving line. It's not a gift, but I do think he's the right side on this fight. I'm not saying Blachowicz is gonna get absolutely mopped, because that's not what I'm saying. It's gonna be a much closer fight. It's gonna be a very close fight. I just think the movement, the volume, and the accuracy of Dominic Reyes is gonna give problems to Blachowicz in this fight. It's not gonna be Corey Anderson staying in the pocket, throwing a naked leg kick for no reason, and getting blasted in the face. I think Dominic Reyes is very, very good. I think Jan Blachowicz is very, very good as well. But I just think Reyes is going to be faster. I think he's going to be able to keep the fight in the feet. He's going to throw more combinations. And then we've seen Jan fade as well in his 5-round fight against Jacare Souza. His volume went next to nothing towards the later portion of the round. I'm not saying he has cardio issues, because he really doesn't. But as the fight progresses, it's not like he's getting better. He's slowing down as well. So I don't see him picking up steam in championship rounds. Whereas I think Dominic Reyes still, even though he slowed down against John Jones in rounds 4 and 5, I still think he gave him hell in those rounds. It's not like John Jones absolutely dominated. He just took him down a couple times, landed some strikes, but Reyes was still landing at that, in those 2 rounds. Actually, let me go look at those rounds, to be honest with you, because the striking was super, super close in all of them. So if you look at rounds 4 and 5, Dominic Reyes, yes, he took a big dip in as far as accuracy goes. In round 3, going from 57% down to 31%, but he still threw more volume than John Jones in both the last 2 rounds. So he still threw almost 100 strikes in rounds 4 and 5. So his cardio was still there. I think just John Jones was just a little bit frustrating those last 2 rounds. Obviously he was landing at a higher clip, but I still think he's got enough cardio to still throw the output, still be in the fight in those last 2 rounds. And I think the early rounds is where Reyes is going to be at his best, because he's going to be super fast, and still got some good power. He's still got a 76-inch reach or a 77-inch reach. So, but yeah, I'm going with Dominic Reyes here. I do like his by decision line. I know people are thinking Reyes is going to go in there and absolutely starch Blachowicz, which I don't think is going to happen. I really don't think Reyes is going to starch Blachowicz. And I do like the over 2.5 rounds, -140. I think that's a great play there. And then Reyes by decision, you're getting a plus 254. I think that's really good.
That's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
I think that's great. I think he's going to be able to, do enough to win a decision. Jan Blachowicz has only been finished once in his entire UFC career, and that was against the surging Thiago Santos at that given time. You're talking about he went against Jimmy Manuel twice. Didn't get finished. He went against Alexander Kupka. Didn't get finished. He went against a ton of heavy hitters. So I don't see him getting finished in this fight. I think it's going to be a close 5-round fight. But I do think Dominic Reyes gets a decision. And listen here, I have a feeling it's going to be a very, very greasy split decision victory for Dominic Reyes, because I really don't want, to be honest with you, as far as the UFC goes, they really don't want Jan Blachowicz to win this title. I think they have Dominic Reyes. He's young. He's a rising star. They really rather have him win than have Blachowicz win. So if it comes to a really, really close fight, I would not be surprised if we see the hand raised for Dominic Reyes, just because of where the
perceptions
UFC is on having him as their next star. As the light heavyweight champion, and he, push him forward. He'd be the star of the light heavyweight division. So, just have that in mind when you're betting on the fight. So, some of those things really do play in part here. You'll talk to these higher executives, and they're like, "No, that's not true." This and that, and the judges aren't paid off. But think about it. Who's going to bring it?
Yeah, the judges see the highlights.
You want a Polish champion, but imagine having tons of fans of Dominic Reyes versus having some MMA fans in Poland. I think Dominic Reyes is has that step up, and they really want to push him at this point. And I got Dominic Reyes here. I think it's going to be faster, better striker. and I think it eases out. He wins the decision here, plus 254 by decision. I think that's a fantastic line, and I'm definitely going to.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
not. Yeah.
So now we're
Can you hear me?
finally to the main event.
You can't hear me,
Fight
can
that
you?
I've been waiting for a while now, because this has been years in the making. We knew this fight was coming. So I'm super excited for this main event for the middleweight championship of the world in a fight between Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa. Right now, Adesanya is a minus 170
You
favorite.
can't hear me.
Come back on Paulo Costa as a plus 150 underdog. Looks like our man Aaron the dog is having some difficulties with his mic again. I know he'll get through it, but let me start. What's up? Joining the show. Keep it up. Appreciate it, Adam. Thank you for joining us here at Inside the Distance. I appreciate you, having some time with us this evening. Hoping that we make you some money this weekend. That's our goal here, as always.
You can't hear me.
I can't hear you, my man.
This is so crazy.
You did last time. Come in, come out. Just maybe exit out, come back in. Maybe that'll work. But anyways, I'm going to start my breakdown of this fantastic main event. Man, guys, I've been absolutely waiting, drooling for this fight. This is a fight that we've been waiting for forever, because Paulo Costa, Israel Adesanya have just been jabbing at each other for forever on Twitter and on social media. So this is a fight that...
You hear me?
I hear you perfectly loud and clear. We're good now. I was just saying, this is a fight that I've been absolutely waiting for between Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa. It's finally here. Before I get into my breakdowns, let's see what Aaron the dog has for us.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. Literally every time I'm testing my mic, it's saying it's working completely.
Maybe it's just me, because Adam here is saying he can hear you.
Yeah, well, that I don't know. Either way, I'm glad that we can be heard now. Let's just finish this up here. I've been pretty consistent on this fight as I've been watching tape and kind of getting my read together. To be honest, I think that Paulo Costa is fine. He's okay, but I'm just not that blown away by him yet. And I think that in the Uriah Hall fight particularly, we saw a lot of things that are going to work in a lot of what Adesanya is going to come with, particularly the jab, the movement, and the spacing that Hall was able to use. And I just don't see Adesanya letting down his guard in the way that Hall did to get kind of blitzed and put away. And I think, in fact, Adesanya will be the one who ends up getting the blitz and putting him away probably in round 2 or 3. I think that other than that, I mean, you've got Paulo Costa, who's beaten Gareth McClendon. He's beat a fat Johnny Hendricks. He beat Aloha Bambuse. I mean, and then he beat Yoel Romero. He looked fine against Yoel Romero, I guess.
Did he beat him, though? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it's how Yoel Romero looks in close fights, which is just not very good.
Yeah.
So, I think, what's the line at right now?
Minus 170.
I love the line for Israel all day here. And I think he gets him inside the distance.
Absolutely. I 100%, 110% agree with you. Minus 170 is a gift here, guys.
Yeah, it's crazy.
An absolutely gift. You'll never get Israel Adesanya at minus 170 ever again after this fight.
Has Paulo gone 5 rounds?
No, of course, never.
Yeah, I mean,
Never.
And does he bodybuilder?
This dude has shorter reach than some bantamweights. Let's not forget that, guys. He's only got 1 more inch reach on 5'9" Calvin Gastelum.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Israel Adesanya has an 8-inch reach advantage. 8 inches of reach. That's massive for a striker of the caliber of Adesanya, who loves to play on the outside. He's one of the best strikers in the entire UFC. I mean, it's night and day. Like, he's that good, guys. I'm telling you. I've seen Paulo Costa gassing out, throwing punches in the back locker room for social media. I mean, come on. This dude was shadow boxing and he was getting tired after shadow boxing. This guy is not gonna be able to go 25 minutes. He's a 1 or 2 round bust fighter. He got gassed fighting against Yoel Romero after 10 minutes. If you gas 10 minutes against Israel Adesanya, he's putting you away in rounds 3, 4, or 5. It's happening. He's putting you away. You cannot get tired against Adesanya. No, he doesn't have this crazy, power, but he's got precision. Once he puts it on your chin, you're going to sleep. Ask Robert Whittaker how that felt when he got hit right on the chin. He didn't like it. He got put down. I think Israel Adesanya is going to absolutely mop the floor of every single middleweight he faces until he gets to the man they call Hazmat Kamaev.
So 2 fights from now.
Which pretty much is 2 fights from now. It really is.
So he has 2 more fights to defend that middleweight title before he loses it.
It's crazy. Imagine this guy who's 8-0 comes in, mops the floor with everybody in not one, not in 2 divisions. 2 divisions. I thought that Whittaker fight was a lucky KO. Have you, Richard? You really need to go back and watch that. That wasn't really luck. This man really put it on Whittaker in the first and second round.
Yeah.
Yes,
he kept hitting him.
Yeah, I mean those were deadly strikes.
Yeah, that right. Yeah, so I don't know if that was lucky.
Yeah, I mean that was just pure precision. I think. Let's not forget those juiced muscles will make Costa very tight. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. All that muscle, it's for power. Like I said in the Romero fight, 3rd round he was gassed, absolutely gassed in that 3rd round. Like to the point where he probably should have lost that fight, and I bet on Paulo Costa in that fight. That's how close it was. You're not going to get a close fight against Israel and not get put away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm absolutely all over Israel Adesanya here. I think we're getting -170, fantastic line. We'll never get Izzy at -170 ever again. Maybe until he fights Kamaev, because Kamaev is going to be running through people. It's probably going to be -110, 120, +100 type of line in my opinion. But yeah, we're not getting Izzy at this line at -170 like for a while. So get it while it's hot. Get it while it is hot. But yeah, that's our complete breakdown of UFC 253. Before we go, Aaron, what kind of greasy parlay can you give us?
Oh, man. Let's I mean, honestly, I will have to let you know that. But, I mean, if I were just looking offhand here, let's go ahead and I'll do – God, I don't know. Let's say Adesanya. We'll go with Adesanya Knight.
Adesanya Knight
And Royval. And Adesanya Knight, Royval, and God, who's going to be the last? I mean, if it's me, I'm doing De Silva. But if it's you, you're doing Hughes. So take your 3rd dog. I'll say De Silva, though. Adesanya.
Okay. This is you, remember.
Yeah.
You're carrying the dog's greasy parlay.
Yeah, this is my parlay. I'll also do some props. I'll look into it more once they open. But for me, yeah, this is purely mine. Be William Knight, De Silva, then Mr. Royval, and finish it off with Adesanya. That's got to be what?
4,245.
There you go.
That means, guys, $10 wins you $424.50.
Like, give it a shot. And if you don't want De Silva, take the Silva and put in Jeff Hughes. If that's
Right?
if that's your fancy there. It's a
And that's still
4,000 for
that's
4
plus
fights.
that's still plus 3,902 if you Jeff Hughes.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I mean, from there you can add from there you could really honestly add your other, like, if you feel really good about whoever else on this card. I mean, if you can add a Shane Young and that'll juice it up to 8,000 almost. So
Our man Richard here hit 2 8-bet parlays last week. That is beautiful.
not me. So
Good
but yeah,
job. Good job.
that would be a simple 4-fight 4,000 parlay.
That's not bad. That's really not bad. That's 40 times your money, everybody. 40 times your money. So get it while it's hot. All right. Before we go, I got to shout out our sponsors. Like always, guys, head over to manscaped.com for the best male grooming products in the market to keep that junk feeling and smelling great. Use promo code TFTA20 for 20% off your order, plus free shipping. And guys, head over to Our Life CBD for the best CBD products in the market. Use promo code TFA10 for 10% off your order. My man, Aaron, where can everyone find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me at Aaron Jay Brooks on Twitter. Find me here every Thursday, obviously at 8 p.m. covering every card.
Also, guys, we will be announcing it soon, but we're going to be doing recap shows every week to cover up that Tuesday slot. That actually we might do it Mondays, so it's fresh, or maybe Sundays. We'll let you guys know, but we're definitely doing a recap. Yeah, either one of these days coming up, either Sunday or Monday, we're definitely doing a recap show. We'll be here. We'll talk about the fights, what's coming up, and then our normal Thursday night show as well.
Sounds good. Yeah, but catch me here anytime we're doing any of those shows. And then, other than that, Twitter, and just, that's about it.
All right, guys, you know where to find me at Fight Analyst on Twitter and The Fight Analyst on Instagram and Facebook. And guys, head over to theFightAnalyst.com. Get my plays right now. It's just $25. They're already done. They've been done since Monday. That's how confident I am in this week. I've been waiting for one fight particular for years to absolutely slam max bets on this weekend. So I'm super, super confident in this card. So get it now. TheFightAnalyst.com. Get our package, $25, and let's get this money.